My name is Lisa Dunnigan.
My name is Tasha Wright.
And we are from Teach Your Heart Out. We are looking for $600,000 in funding.
Welcome to Fun Tank. Today we have some awesome entrepreneurs that are going to pitch their companies, how they got started, where they are, but most importantly, where they want to go. On top of that, I want to help them get the funding that they need to unlock their growth and take their company to the next level.
I'm Lynn Smith, national media expert and also podcast host. I want other people to understand their story and how powerful it is. So I'm going to show these contestants how to sell their story to Joe.
I'm Bianca D'Alessio, founder of the Masters Division at Nest Seekers International. I want to make sure that they have the right foundation, the right support, and the right infrastructure to support all of their expansion goals.
Fun Tank is presented by National Business Capital. To work with Joe's team, go to nationalbusinesscapital.com/funtank.
On this episode of Fun Tank, we have Tasha and Lisa, who are a mother and daughter duo. I'm really excited to meet them and really learn and understand more about their business. They built a business called Teach Your Heart Out, where they've taken education and conferences and put them together to do ongoing education. What I'm curious to understand, is this a profitable business and is it scalable? Stay tuned to find out.
Hello, I'm Tasha Wright.
I'm Lisa Dunnigan of Teach Your Heart Out, and we are looking for $600,000 in funding.
Welcome to Fun Tank.
Thank you so much.
So will you guys tell us a little about yourselves and the business and how you got started, where you are today and where you guys are trying to go?
All right, I'll start. My name is Tasha, and I come from a family of educators. I was determined to not be a teacher. Both of my parents were teachers. I wanted to do anything but teach. But God has a funny way of making things happen. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be a teacher. So Teach Your Heart Out is a professional learning conference that goes all around the country.
When you think about Teach Your Heart Out, that is a statement within itself. We want educators to teach their hearts out.
And we currently have teacher cruises each summer. Our mission is to pour into teachers, provide them with the strategies and tools that they need to pour into our students and get to the heart of things that matter.
Teacher cruises, that sounds like that's like a wild time, like all the teachers like letting loose and like it's just time to,
We do have lots of professional learning going on as well, along with a lot of fun
Nice.
as well.
That's great.
Because actually last year, over 537,000 educators left the field of teaching.
Wow.
So we feel
Jeez.
we feel a very big responsibility in helping to retain teachers and help them to remember their why as well.
That's a stat I just can't blow past. Why did so many educators leave the industry last year, and is that normal?
500,000 teachers.
Yeah, it's not normal. I think the biggest thing is COVID. It really changed students, it changed parents, and it changed teachers. And so teachers now realize that they don't have to work as hard because we don't have the parental support that we need in order to do our jobs. We are the parents, we're the mom, we're the dad, we're the granddad, we're the grandmom, and the teacher on top of that. And so I think that is the reason for a lot of the mass exodus in education. Also, teachers are some of the lowest paying people on the planet. And when you don't pay people what they're worth, they find other things and other ways to make ends meet. And so they have found other opportunities to earn money.
Yeah.
And way more money than they earn being an educator, unfortunately.
Right, that's what's so frustrating. It's our children's education, yet they're making nothing. And I would imagine, the motivation is what it sounds like you guys are really putting in them. Yes. And that then translates to better education. What are some of the outcomes that you see that come from this?
So typically our conferences are Friday and Saturday. Teachers who sign up to come to Teach Your Heart Out are going to get a weekend full of fun, learning on top of fun. So teachers, they are able to come in on the first day. We have keynote speakers, and then we have breakout sessions. The breakout sessions are over self-care, teacher strategies, behavior education management pieces. We even have sessions for administrators to continue to improve their craft. Ideas that they can take back and use on Monday when they return to the classroom. We want to get to the heart of it, whether that be a new strategy, whether that be a new tool that they can use. But Monday they come back and the reviews say that they can immediately jump back in. They say they feel refreshed, that the burnout is behind them, and they are really just on fire for their students and for education.
This started after COVID or prior to COVID?
Prior to COVID, it started in 2017. So
Okay.
we had our very first conference. It was a one-day conference.
Our very first conference, we actually sold out, and we were so excited. We were like, we got this.
Because of COVID, it diminished our ability to kind of go to different places because of lack of resources. And then many of these teachers also have to pay for professional learning out of their own pockets.
Wow.
That's what I was going to ask, is who's paying for it?
Yeah.
Some school districts do pay for it, but many of the teachers self-pay.
Wow.
They self-pay.
Where are you based out of, and is your business a local model, or are you having people flying in from everywhere?
So we are based out of Atlanta, right outside of Atlanta in West Georgia. And we have people from all over the country. Several conferences, we had people from Africa.
Wow.
In Canada.
Yes.
How many people are you seeing on average attending your conferences?
Every summer we have a teacher cruise, and so our very first one in 2019, we actually went to the Bahamas, and we were actually able to visit a school as well. We ended up with 616 people on our very first one. We were all set to do the second one, and then of course COVID hit, so we had to delay it. And so once we were able to do it last summer, we only took about 236 people. Then this past summer we went back to the Bahamas, and we had 636 people.
How many days is the cruise?
The cruise last year was 3 days, and this
Okay.
next summer it'll be a 5-day cruise to Cozumel.
That sounds exciting. And they can earn their professional credits? You have to be accredited, or
We're
how does?
partnered with a university.
Okay. Just gonna say, you're putting the fun
Yes.
in teaching and getting your credits and the ongoing
And
education.
also building a community is so important. That's a very important part of what we do, because the teachers actually get to meet other teachers who teach the same grade level or have the same profession that they have.
When do you really get to do that, right?
We
You're
don't.
busy in the year, and then the summer comes, and then it just kind of rinse and repeat.
Absolutely.
I love the idea. I mean, the purpose of this is to really enhance everything, but is this for profit? What's the business model?
Yes.
Is it profitable? Can you
Yes.
get to be profitable?
So we charge $500 for each participant to attend Teach Your Heart Out. Just from our cruise alone, we made like $130,000. So we have been, like the cruise that we did last summer, of course it was not profitable, but this past year it was $130,000. We realized that when we have our face-to-face conference, we need 220 participants in order to break even.
Great, makes sense. And it's good, you guys should be for profit. You have to make profit in order to continue to fuel your mission. If you're not
Absolutely.
profitable, none of this would work.
Absolutely.
Is anybody else doing anything like this?
There are plenty of businesses and other companies that put on professional learning conferences, but we want to be known as the first Black professional learning conference for educators in the United States. When you hear Teach Your Heart Out, we want people to say, oh, I can't wait to go, or oh, my school is sending me there. So we would be able to do that with this funding.
Got it?
How are you going to spend Joe's money to do that?
That was going to be, you took the words out of my mouth.
Just looking out for you, Joe.
We actually need to be able to hire people. We actually need more people because it is like a gigantic ship. We need someone to be our project manager. We need someone to be our graphic designer. We need someone to be our operations manager. Those are all things that we absolutely need to be able to go to the next level. I need an assistant because there are so many moving parts, and I need an actual person because when you have a virtual assistant, many times things get lost in translation, so I need an actual person, and we actually have been able to identify someone who is in the industry, and he helped another teacher-led conference like ours to be able to make $6 million over the last 3 years. So now he's going to help us to be able to get into more school districts, and so we have to be able to, of course, pay him to be able to do that. And also, we want to be able to go ahead and have our swag because, as you can imagine, everyone loves free things, but teachers really love free items. They really love free items, and so we get those from China, and so it takes a while, and so we'd like to be able to get those for a year ahead of time. And with COVID, even though we were able to do virtual conferences, we had to actually give refunds. So now we want to be able to use part of those funds to have that money because we have to plan so far in advance.
So how many conferences do you have in a year?
3. We typically have 3 per
Okay.
year.
And
2
how-
of them are face-to-face, and then we have the cruise.
Okay, and then how far out are you planning your conferences?
Usually 12 to 18 months
Okay.
ahead of time because the hotels, they book up. So you have to go ahead and plan.
Are you guys paying for the hotels, or are they paying the hotel direct and you guys are managing the conference?
We actually have to pay for the rooms that we use. We either have to pay for the rooms that we use or we do a F&B minimum. So you might have like a $40,000 that you have to spend on food and beverage. When the school signs up, the teachers, they also sign up for the hotel room.
So let's say you get $600,000 and you have to make some hires and some things. Is that going to help you exceed doing 3 conferences in a year, or is it going to help you get more people to each one of those conferences?
We want to get more people to each conference. Like we've set our goal for the cruise, let's say, at 1,200 people is what we're aiming for next summer.
Okay. How do you think you get more people there?
We need more marketing, more testimonials, so we need to beef up what we're doing on social media.
The person that had success with other type of conferences, are you hiring them full time, or is it like contract or?
He actually will be a consultant for us in the beginning, and then as we develop our relationship, then we'll
maybe
increase.
move to something else.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I think that's definitely safer for you guys, just to get started instead of having to commit to a big salary, burning a bunch of money.
Absolutely.
Because the reality is, if you don't nail the marketing piece, you're not going to get the attendees. Have you guys documented, like from a video and picture perspective, the current cruises, conferences that you've done?
Yes. We
Okay. So I think that's your marketing right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially for the cruise.
Okay. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. It sounds like a lot of you get the education, you get the credits, you get to go like why wouldn't you do that?
Right?
I'm not a teacher. I want to go get my credit.
We would love to have you. If we're able to get this money, it would actually change our lives because we would be able to have everything. We already have a roadmap. We just need the resources to be able to implement that roadmap.
What have you done in 2023? What have you done in revenue in 22? What's your revenue so far year to date?
In 2022, we did 837 and some change.
Yep.
And our profit was 327.
Wow.
And this year, we've done 1.1, and we have made probably about 200,000. Most of that was because we had to get some additional equipment. Our profit margin would have been more, but we had to get some additional equipment.
What type of equipment? Just curious.
Just sound equipment because we decided instead of like the
renting
hotels,
they
charge so much.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, so you can just buy it and then you pay for it after one time.
Yeah.
And then we just take it on our truck.
Yeah, it's
Good
smart.
business decision.
Yeah, that's great. That stuff it gets out of hand.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
There's so many more educators who could use our help.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear you guys you're all about the mission of helping teachers. It's not, you're not doing this for money.
Right.
Yep. Your last year's tax return shows a profit?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the year prior?
So the year in 2020, that would have been 2021, I think we took a loss of like $120,000.
What's really interesting is you might be able to do an SBA loan for this.
We actually have applied for an SBA Community Advantage loan, and it seems like it's taking years.
Oh well,
forever.
so the challenge there's a few different types of SBAs, and then there's a lot of different types of SBA lenders, and this is what most people don't understand. Depending on which lender you go to, who you work with, bank. There's also non-bank SBA lenders.
Right.
Then there's some of these community programs. It really is very confusing, complicating. That's the whole reason why I founded my company, National Business Capital, is to make these things easy. But based on the profit, year to date, you're profitable. The amount of profit that you're generating could support $600,000 in debt. It would be over 10 years. Interest rates are high right now, so it just kind of is what it is. Prime rate's at 8.5%, as we're making this. But there could be a real opportunity there, and we have it down to like a very repeatable, easy process. So that's something that we can look at. Outside of that, based on the revenue that you guys shared, then it really starts to change once you get outside of SBA. It's going to be really based on your revenue. There is profit, but you'd probably somewhere in like the $250,000 range, maybe a little bit more. But there's ways that we could set it up where you can have access to money more on like a reoccurring, type of basis. So that's why I was asking, like, what's the minimum?
Right.
Because listen, if you can get it all, I think that's great. But if you can't, like, what's step 1, step 2, and step
Absolutely.
3?
Right. Well, 250 would help us. Any amount would help us.
Yeah. And then you've got a decent amount of profit. Are you guys reinvesting the profit? Like, what's happening with that profit?
We are reinvesting it because we are we have like a bucket list of presenters that we really want to have come to Teach Your Heart Out, because we know like Brene Brown is one of them who everyone says, oh, she's not bookable. So we know that we're going to keep trying, and so we do reinvest back into the business.
How often do you need continuing education?
Every year.
Have you hit the same city multiple times, and what has your repeat business been?
We've gone to Vegas twice, Miami twice, and Atlanta twice.
Okay.
And so same districts, but not necessarily the same teachers.
Okay, so just when I think about it from a marketing perspective, if they need to come back every single year, if you're providing a service, if you're providing a business model that's more fun, more exciting, better education than your competitor, you're going to start to inherently build that repeat business. Entering the new markets is going to be your biggest challenge, but being able to get someone back year after year, offering those discount codes, bringing the influencers who were there that first year and giving them a discounted rate for the second year, people want to be part of something that's bigger than themselves, especially when you're talking about professional development. And the teacher model is a community-based model.
Yes,
so to be able to offer that service and to get people coming back, if your retention could be boosted up year over year, that's going to drive your numbers tremendously, and they'll pay more for it year over year because they know what they're getting.
Yes. And then one final piece of feedback before Joe makes his decision. When you told us your why of being a 38-year veteran and how many boring conferences, I was bought in right then. Put that in the beginning. Tell me that right out of the gate. That's what's going to make Joe and catch his attention.
Yeah, really great point. Thank you, Lynn. I mean, I think you have a real market here. I also really appreciate you guys knowing your numbers.
It would change our lives immensely by getting these funds.
So let us talk, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What do you think,
What do you guys think?
Bianca?
I like them. I like the market. If they're doing 3 conferences a year and they want to keep doing 3 conferences a year, what is changing? Like, something needs to change in their model. They need to be charging more, which then who do you eliminate? How are you making more money with this new money coming in?
That's what I wasn't getting the answer when I said, what are you going to do with it that makes you more money? A personal assistant's not going to get you more money. So many of those bodies were to make life easier. That's great, but they're not going to bring in more money to the business. And it sounds like this consultant could be the saving grace, but
It could also just be a really expensive
be a bad
add-on.
consultant. And we've all had
I am not really clear exactly on how they're going to use 600,000 or necessarily why they need that much to really scale. I think they might need less than what they think. I'll have to really dive more into that with them. But I do think that there's something here. If their numbers are right, and those are the numbers, there's absolutely a way to get them probably what they want, but I don't know if they're going to need that full amount of money in order to do what they want to do. It seems really more like a marketing thing, and a few process things and having a few people in place, systematize this, and get people at the conference and just manage that conference.
And I think also when it comes to the marketing, which I tried to allude to, is when you ask them, they want to reach more teachers. But is it necessarily more teachers, or is it having higher impact on the current teachers you're currently
bringing them
hitting
back.
and bringing them back? Because that recurring revenue.
And that's the thing is, like, the first 2-3 years of this, as they're bringing teachers that they brought in, bringing more teachers, they just have to be really good with getting the teachers to show back up again, and then your cost of acquisition, goes down completely. You're just working your email list and however you can reach back out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think there's a real business here. I think they have a real opportunity. There's 3.5 million teachers.
So it's there.
Yeah, good stuff.
Great.
All right. All right, welcome back. We had, I think, a good discussion. Not fully clear on why the full 600,000. Exactly like, all right, so assistant, a few people, like to help, we get that, but you guys are doing well already. You're very profitable already. Conference businesses, if run the right way, can be very great and profitable businesses. I think that you guys can get there and maybe don't need to borrow as much. Me as a lender, that doesn't help me. I want to lend as much money as possible, so I'm just being honest with you.
Right.
But also I've seen a lot of companies take on too much debt. And you always think, oh my God, I need all this.
Right.
And maybe you do need that, but maybe it's in stages. So we can keep the debt low, keep the payments low, and focus on like step 1, step 2, step 3. But I definitely want to help you guys. I'm not fully clear on that exact dollar amount, but I do know I want to work with you, help you, and get you the initial funding to get started. And I want to help you guys nail this cruise next July and get to that 1,200 number. I think it's realistic.
Thank you.
And I also think you have a really real opportunity here. You have 3.5 million teachers. But just from talking with you, it seems like there's not really anyone focused in the way that you guys are. You're also making it fun, and more importantly, which I really do care about, is you're helping teachers, engage, reconnecting on their purpose, which is important. I've got 2 young kids. They're going to need teachers,
Absolutely.
and they're
Good teachers.
Who want to show up and are excited.
And it's really important. And if I can help in any way to, help you guys help solve some of that problem, I'm happy to do so.
All right,
Thank
great.
you.
Awesome. Thank you
so
guys
much.
for being on the show.
Thanks.
It was very,
Thank you.
very nice meeting you guys.
Nice to meet you too. So excited about being able to work with Joe, and we thank him so much for the knowledge that he's going to impart with us. And we are so excited to be able to scale our business and take it to the next level.
It was a little nerve-wracking. There was, of course, much more that we could say, but the questions that he asked us really just allowed us to be able to tell our story.
Fun Tank is presented by National Business Capital. To work with Joe's team, go to nationalbusinesscapital.com/funtank.